Hello students, welcome to this video. In the previous video, we have discussed some of the properties of Bessel's function and some examples based on Bessel's function. In this video, we are going to discuss one important property of Bessel's function that is known as orthogonal property of Bessel's function. And the statement of this property flows like this. If alpha and beta are two distinct roots of jnx equals to 0, then integration from 0 to 1 x into jn alpha x into jn beta x into dx equals to 0 whenever alpha is not equals to beta. Now, to prove this particular orthogonal property, let us recall the concept what you discussed in the video of series solution of Bessel's differential equation. In the last part of that video, we have discussed how to reduce the equations to the standard form of Bessel's equation. And there we have proved that y equal to jn lambda x is the solution of the equation x square into y double dash plus x into y dash plus lambda square x square minus n square into y equal to 0. Here y double dash means d square over dx square and y dash means dy by dx. In the same fashion, suppose when we take u equal to jn alpha x and v equal to jn beta x, these are going to be the solutions of the equation as compared to this one, that is u equal to jn alpha x is the solution of the equation x square into u double dash plus x into u dash plus alpha square x square minus n square into u equal to 0, and v equal to jn beta x is going to be the solution of x square into v double dash plus x into v dash plus beta square x square minus n square into v equals to 0. These two statements or these two equations are directly written as a consequence of this particular fact, that is y equal to jn lambda x is the solution of this equation. When y is replaced by u and lambda is replaced by alpha, we can write this equation. When y is replaced by v and lambda is replaced by beta, we are going to get this equation by calling these as going to be the solutions of these equations. Now let us take this one as 1 and this one as equation 2. When we multiply equation 1 by v by x and equation 2 by u by x, we are going to get this. When you multiply equation 1 by v by x, 1x will get cancelled. We get x into v into u double dash. When we multiply the second term by v by x will get cancelled. We get v into u dash plus when we multiply this term by v by x, 1x will get cancelled. We get alpha square x into u into v minus when you multiply this one by v by x, we get that is n square uv by x. Now let us refer that one as equation 3. Similarly, when we multiply equation 2 by u by x, we get that is x u into v double dash plus u into v dash plus beta square x into uv minus n square uv by x. Now let us take that one as equation 4. Now whatever we get after multiplying equation 1 by v by x and equation 2 by u by x, let us do them as equation 3 and 4. Now let us take the difference from the difference of equation 3 and 4. Now let us write on the result. Now once you take the difference of these two, let us take x common, then we left vu double dash minus u into v double dash. Plus, if you take the difference between these two, that is v into u dash minus u into v dash plus. In these two, we can take x uv as common term, then we get alpha square minus beta square, and these two will get cancelled and RHS becomes 0. Now this one, let us take this term on the another side, we can write it as beta square minus alpha square into x uv. And now LHS, this is two terms which can be written as a single term as, this can be written as a derivative of x into v u dash minus u into v dash, and RHS is kept as it is, because when you take the differentiation of this term by applying the product rule, we are going to get this one. That's why this can be rewritten in this fashion. Now, integrating both sides with respect to x between the limits 0 and 1, we get. Once we integrate, differentiation will get cancelled, and we have to take the limit for this one from 0 to 1. That's why we can write x into v u dash minus u into v dash, and we have to take the limit from x, which is from 0 to 1, equal to RHS. This is constant, we kept as it is. When we integrate this one, that is 0 to 1, x uv with respect to x, and you have to take the limit from 0 to 1. And once we take the upper limit, that is x equals to 1, and for this one also we have to take x equal to 1. And because, let us recall u and v, because u is j and alpha x, means it is also a function of x, v is j and beta x, means it is also a function of x. That's why in this one also we have to take x equal to x equal to 1 upper limit, minus when you take x equal to 0, 0 into something, that results in 0. And RHS, that is beta square minus alpha square, integration from 0 to 1 x u into dx. Now 1 into this is this, and we have to take x equals to 1 for that, and we keep RHS as it is. Now let us take this one as equation 5. Now we know that u equal to j n alpha x, and derivative of that one, that is u dash with respect to x, that is if you differentiate this one with respect to x, that can be denoted as u dash, and it is alpha into jn dash of alpha x, v equal to jn beta x, and we can write v dash equal to beta into jn dash of beta x. Once you take these values in equation 5, we get, first let us once you cross multiply, this beta square minus alpha square will come to the denominator, and RHS is integration from 0 to 1, x is here. Now u is there, that is jn alpha x, and v is there, that is jn beta x into dx. And now v is there, but v is jn beta x. Now u dash is alpha into jn dash of alpha x, minus u is there, u is jn alpha x, and next is v dash, that is beta into jn dash of beta x. And importantly, we have to take the limit for this one, x equals to 1. Now this one we keep as it is. Now RHS, that is 1 upon beta square minus alpha square. When we take x equals to 1, this becomes jn beta into jn dash of alpha minus jn of alpha into jn dash of beta we get. Now let us do this one as 6. And later on I'll say why we have written this one as 0. You have marked this as 0. Since they are given, alpha and beta are the roots of j and x equals to 0, because it is given in the statement of the property itself that alpha and beta are two distinct roots of j and x equal to 0. Root means the value which satisfies the equation. That's why when we replace this x by alpha, it becomes 0. Whenever we replace this x by beta, then also it becomes 0. If you take jn alpha x equal to 0 and jn beta jn alpha equal to 0 and jn beta equal to 0 in equation 6, that's why we have marked this one as 0 and this one as 0. That is 0 into something, that becomes 0, and here also 0 into something, that becomes 0. Therefore this becomes 0 minus 0, that is numerator. In the denominator we get beta square minus alpha square. 0 minus 0 is 0, and this results in 0 only when the denominator is not equal to 0. If denominator becomes 0, that results in an indeterminate form. That's why we have written that this expression results in 0, okay, only when beta square minus alpha square is not equal to 0. Saying this one is as good as saying alpha is not equals to beta. That's why here we have proved that whenever alpha and beta are two distinct roots of the equation jn x equals to 0, then integration from 0 to 1, x into jn of alpha x into jn of beta x dx equals to 0, provided alpha is not equals to beta. And this is one important property which is called as orthogonal property of Bessel's function. That's a very important property, and it is going to be very important with respect to examination point of view. Thank you.